Thank you. Nice to be here. This is one of those days when we're glad we're not in person.
Yeah.
I just left the office because I was afraid I wouldn't be able to get my car down the parking garage ramp. It spirals down.
Oh yeah, I hate that one. I hate that parking garage. Yep. Hi, Gabriel. Welcome. Okay, we're going to give it one more minute. Hi, Rhiannon.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Glad to have you with us. Okay. Well, it's 4:02, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So welcome, everybody. We have a fairly long agenda, but I'm still hoping to get you all done by 5 o'clock. So I'm going to start with organizational update. So we have a really good virtual brown bag lunch coming up on Monday, the 28th, next week, with Suzanne Smith, Social Impact Architects, and she's going to do a presentation on strategic planning, which is something she does for a lot of nonprofit groups, arts groups in particular. So that's at noon, and so of course that's free. So anybody that wants to join us for that and hasn't gotten the link yet, let me know, and we will get that out to you. And Hannah, can you reply to Linda?
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then we do have our Arts Advocacy Day on the 26th of April, and I'll talk more about that later. And then right now we're still planning a virtual meeting for March. That would be the last Wednesday in March, the 30th. Right now, so our next thing is going to be our member spotlight, and Diana Pollock with the Creative Arts Center is here, and she has a short video to share with us, and then she's going to tell us more about what they have going on there. So go ahead, Diana.
Is Hannah going to play the video, or do you want me to? Okay, here we go.
What is the Creative Arts Center? It's a community where people come together. Not only do they create art, they build more community.
And here is a place where you can learn to make art, and it is a great gift to Dallas.
Pop that right off like that.
There are so many major leaders of the arts community who have given valuable time and expertise in making the center the strong facility that it is.
Well, the Creative Arts Center was founded by a very influential artist by the name of Octavio Medellin in 1966. It was founded in Frank Ray's studio, the famed Western artist, called El Sibyl. In 1990, we moved to this location. Octavio had retired from CAC, and so the group of people that were running the organization decided to move over here to East Dallas.
It's a very nurturing kind of place where you have professional artists, you have people who haven't made art since elementary school when the teacher told them they were doing it wrong. And this place is a home to all of that.
What we've done that I think is unique in the last few years is we've reached out to the community, like Artability, piloted in 2014. And it's a program that works with developmental and intellectually disabled young adults and teens in Camp Metalhead, which is a program that teaches job skills training and combines it with arts instruction in welding and small metals. It's for kids 13 to 17.
Well, now after Camp Metalhead, it's actually a lot easier to just express myself through my art now.
I took classes with both Rebecca Collins, that was the first class I took, mixed media mosaics, and then the second class I took that I was on a waiting list for a long time, that's how popular they are, with Sonia Keaton. It's the place that has every single class possible that you can imagine, and then some.
the light has had an opportunity to mature, to grow and develop, that the invitation and the welcome sent out by this institution, this community that says, yes, we need you, we want you, we support you, and for that we're grateful.
So you just saw the 2.5-minute version of a longer video that was produced for our 50th anniversary. It was produced by Quinn Matthews, and we're really, really proud of it. So it's a little bit dated, but the exciting thing that is going on for us this year, and really kind of our cornerstone of a lot of our activities, is the Octavio Medellin exhibit that is going on at the DMA. It opened on February 6th. We've been working with the DMA for 2 years on this, and it's the first ever museum retrospective of our founder, and it's just a remarkable thing to be happening in the community. Is, you know, the DMA is free to the public. This is on the 4th floor. It will be up from February 6th to January 15th of 2023, so it's an entire year of celebration, and it's also really focused on access because it's not a ticketed event, and the museum is free. So it's just we've had meeting after meeting with the DMA. I've had one last week. I have one tomorrow on Zoom, and we're still working on a lot of, working to activate the entire community around this celebration. So if any of you that I do work with, all of you colleagues, have any ideas or anything, want to come to us with the projects, we're totally open to that, because we have basically a year to do it. We've launched a number of other programs in the past couple of years. One is a new program called Run with the Pack, which is a teen mural painting program. We're going to be doing 3 of those this year. One with the Bathhouse Cultural Center, one with the Oak Cliff Cultural Center, and then one with Booker T. And they're all going to be focused and themed around Octavio Medellin's work. So everything we're doing is playing into that. And that's, that we offer 500 classes and workshops a year. And I guess a lot of questions I get from my colleagues is, we were one of the first, if not the first organization to reopen in the pandemic. We opened January 14th of 2020 at half capacity. It was basically no more than 4 to 5 people in a class. And I think it's more like 4. Now we're at full capacity. And even that, it's not really 100% capacity. It's maybe 85% capacity, because we're keeping our classes capped at 8. Some of them can go to 12 because of the size of the room. So we've done it, and it is not easy, but it has been really rewarding. People are coming back in droves. We actually have 340 currently enrolled students in this first spring session. It is the highest enrollment we've ever had in the history of the Creative Arts Center, way before this pandemic. All the numbers we looked at when we started going back to pre-pandemic numbers, we were just shocked at how people want to come back. They want to come back. So when you are ready, if you are not already doing programming, be ready, because they're coming through your doors. That's really all I can say about that. Does anybody have any questions for me?
If not, thank you so much, Diana. Thank you for all the good work that you do and have done. And congratulations on getting everybody back. That's great.
It's been exciting.
We hope that's an omen for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Next on the agenda, I want to introduce the new Director of Tourism of Cultural Tourism for Visit Dallas. You know Christina Hart from her years over at the Dallas Arts District, and she is replacing Mary Beth Lyson at Visit Dallas. And so I wanted to make sure you all knew her if you hadn't met her already, or you knew that she had moved over to Visit Dallas. And she's going to give us a little update on the TPID and their funding program there. And just want you all to say hello and welcome to Christina. Thank you, Christina. Go ahead.
Thanks, Joanna, for inviting me. I feel like I know so many of you, so I don't really need to introduce myself, but for those of you who I don't know, I'm Christina Kirkner-Hart, and I am the new Director of Cultural Tourism for Visit Dallas. My work contact is on this slide, and Joanna, you can, if it's possible, we can send this out to everybody after the fact so that everybody has it. Hannah, can you go to the next slide? So I just wanted to share really quickly about TPID. For those of you who don't know, it's kind of an incredible fund. Those of you who do know, the last year it opened on July 1st and the funds were out within 2.5 weeks. So at this point, it's over 8,975,955 in distributed funds, but by its 10th anniversary this August, it will have distributed over $10 million to arts and culture organizations. So that's a pretty fun and robust number. The next slide. Thanks. So this is just general, very, very general information. Some of it is still TBD as far as timing, but the application portal is going to open July 11th this year. And we've switched it to the second Monday in July so as not to compete with July 4th weekend. And it'll sustain that timing. So that second Monday in July, for those of you who are kind of keeping an eye out for the July 1st. We will have 3 town halls. One will be in person. Thank you, Joanna, for having us. On May 24th, we're going to do a town hall, and it'll just be sort of an informational. We'll go through the application itself and walk through any questions as to how your event might. Sometimes it's hard to understand. I think sort of the audience numbers to hotel stay numbers, which is what, but we have a formula that adjusts all that. So I'll talk you guys through all those details. And then we have 2 more via Zoom, and one of those will be recorded and then up permanently on our website, which is dallastpid.com. And as a reminder, funds are dispersed first come, first serve, as long as you're eligible, and it closes when the money runs out. So I highly recommend just keeping an eye on. I'll be doing a whole bunch of updates over the next 2 months on the website, and so just keep checking in. And if you guys have any questions ahead of time, feel free to reach out. And that's it. So thank you.
Thank you, Christina. It's a wonderful program. So, and we're sorry to lose you at the Arts District, but we're really happy to have you at Visit Dallas. So congratulations. So next, I think everybody, you've got to know that there's a primary election going on because you can't escape the commercials and the flyers in the mailbox. But I just want to emphasize just how important it is for all of us to be arts voters and to turn out for this election. So I've asked Tino to give us a real quick update just to make sure everyone has all the information they need. So go ahead, Tino.
Thank you very much. So this is a real easy slide here. I wanted to list some resources for you. We are in a primary election. March 1st is the election. It is very important. Texas has an open primary, which means that you can choose, from year to year if you want to vote Democratic or if you want to vote Republican. The only thing is that if you vote in this primary on March 1st as a Democrat, you will need to vote again as a Democrat. So just, really study the candidates. Really good resource that I always turn to answer get questions answered is dallascountyvotes.org. Vote.org also started, I believe, in 2018 and has gone national. It's just a really good organization, nonpartisan, the League of Women Voters, Dallas. And then, of course, our very own state, votetexas.gov. If you can vote early. Early voting ends Friday at 7 p.m. And you'll just need to take some ID. This is really important because election clerks and judges are going to be very enthusiastic about taking their job to the ultimate maximum level you can. And you might get chewed out for bringing your phone out or not having the right ID, whatever reason they're going to give you, please do not deter you from voting, okay? Just know that people are going to be very sensitive. There are going to be some short fuses, but if you have any trouble, call 866 our vote. All right. This is a hotline that's set up by the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights under law, and you need to call them as soon as you encounter any trouble. All right. Take your ID, vote anywhere on March 1st if you're going to wait until then. You can take your passport, you can take your license, you can take your voter registration card plus your license. Just be sure that you are that you're covered in that regard. Going back to Dallas County votes, you can look at a sample of the ballot. Make sure that you go through it, all of it. Make sure you vote for everybody that you can. And just, if you voted, it's fun to let everybody else know that you did, right? Because it's our duty, it's our civic duty, it's our voice. And please tag Arts Vote Dallas. That's what we've been using forever. You can also use Arts Vote Texas to get picked up by Texans for the Arts. And of course, there's always Dallas Needs the Arts. So please, please, please vote.
Thank you, Tino. And I just want to let everybody know, I will send out the presentation slides following the meeting to everybody so that you'll have this information. And you're welcome to share this with others in your organization or your friends and family.
I had a question, Joanna.
Yes.
And I apologize if this is a dumb question, but thank you so much, Tino, for this information. I've been meaning to do this and I have not. So this is exactly the nudge. This is the nudge that I needed. Okay, if I vote in the Democratic primary, and then you said I have to vote as a Democrat, that's only in any other runoffs, correct? Because in the general election, okay, I see Jeff, the general election, I could vote because there's the reason why I ask is I know people that are Democrats that are voting in the Republican primary to try to say impact the attorney general race or something. But in my area, I need to vote, I think, in the Democratic because there's a state race. So
let me confirm.
My question as well, Jennifer, that it's my understanding that which you can vote in either primary, Democrat or Republican, but if there is a runoff, you can only vote in the runoff for whichever you voted for, whichever party you voted for. So if you voted Republican primary and there was a Democrat runoff and you really are a Democrat, you cannot participate in the runoff. That is my understanding as well.
That's the way I recall. I just wanted to, okay.
I believe you're correct, Jeff. That's my understanding too. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can vote for anybody you want to in the real election. There is no party voting in the November election.
Right. And I will say, y'all, check the redistricting. I have several friends who have woken up to find out that they are no longer in Colin Allred's district. They're in Beth Van Dyne or something. So check and make sure that's not me, but check your redistricting because that's also caught a few friends. So anyway, this is just exactly what I needed to do this. Thank you.
Yes, and Jennifer, that's perfect. That's exactly what you'll see on Dallas County votes is a note about redistricting, and you will need to go ahead and check, but go ahead and go anywhere to vote, and they will take.
Does anyone else have a question about the upcoming election or voting in general? Okay, I don't see any other questions. So, Tino, thank you so much.
Wait,
go ahead.
So a couple of things. If you are looking, there's several opportunities. First of all, there's always a need for precinct chairs. So whether you're a Republican or Democrat, please look on Dallas County votes, look up where the precinct vacancies are and consider doing that, because what you're doing is then you're being a resource for your precinct for voters. And then of course, depending on what party you choose. The other thing is that you can work the elections and make $16 an hour. And if you are 16 years of age and you're looking for great experience, with your parents' permission, you can also work. And there is always a great need for election workers as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Tino. Okay, moving on. The next thing on the agenda is about the Artist Ink Express workshops. And Salmon Center is partnering with Office of Arts and Culture and the Mid-America Arts Alliance to bring these workshops to Dallas in April at the end of Dallas Arts Month. This is a wonderful program. This is meant for artists. And it's going to be free, and it's on the weekend of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, April 22nd through the 24th. It is a very in-depth 3 hours a day workshop on the topics of strategic planning and goal setting, building a personal brand, writing about your work, public speaking, and online presence, networking, and building relationships. And it's going to be led by peers in the arts, and as well as some of the staff of Mid-America Arts Alliance. It will be virtual, and so it's going to be first come, first served, but it's a wonderful program. I think it's a professional development program. I think it would be of great value to artists who are at a point in their career where they really would like to go to the next level. The registration will open probably around March 1st, and we're still kind of working that out, so we will definitely let you know. And again, I'll send this out to everybody. It's just another wonderful resource that I have to credit the Office of Cultural Affairs for finding this opportunity for everybody. But I just wanted to let you know it was coming. So if you're an artist or you know an artist who would like to benefit from this, that they're aware of it and would be able to sign up, since it's very limited attendance.
Well, and Joanna, thank you for helping administer it, because, this is one of those quirky contracts that we couldn't do it without your help at Salmons.
Sure. No, we're all, anything that benefits our artists and our arts community, we're very happy to do whatever we can. So I will send this out to everybody, but I wanted to know if anyone has any specific questions about it. And if so, I'm happy to try and answer them as best I can.
Definitely want the information, because I'll blast that out in my social media, since I know so many visual artists here locally.
Okay. All right. Happy to do that. Does anyone else have a question about it? Okay, well, we'll be getting information out right about March 1st on how people can sign up. So as soon as we have that all set up. So the next thing on the agenda is an update from Hector on the Moody Fund for the Arts. So I'm going to turn it over to Hector.
All right. Let's see. Can you see that screen?
Not yet.
All right, let's back that up. There we go.
There we go.
Yay! So I know that many of you are familiar with Moody Fund for the Arts, and in fact, some of you have received for the first 4 years. But I also saw some very new names on the meeting today. So I am going to go through this a little bit quickly. We've had a community meeting about it, and I took out a lot of slides, but there will be opportunity for you to connect with me afterwards. The Moody Fund for the Arts was created, this will be our 5th grant cycle now, and it is a $10 million endowment fund that is administered out of the AT&T Performing Arts Center where I work. I'm Director of Strategic Services, and the fund is specifically aimed at helping these small and mid-sized arts organizations in the city of Dallas. And these are organizations all throughout the city, but certainly within the city boundaries. And they are the smaller emerging, or sometimes not emerging, but smaller budgeted ones, less than $1 million. But the fund, and I'll go through really just the steps. And
Hector, we're not seeing anything.
Your slide turned black for some reason.
Huh?
We're not seeing, we're just seeing a black screen with a vertical white line through it.
Wow, that's interesting, because it says you are sharing the screen.
Maybe stop share and reshare and see if that helps.
Yeah, let's see. Did that do anything?
There we are.
Yeah.
Now we can see it.
Okay, cool. So the Moody Fund was created to support these small and emerging arts organizations. And every year we'll have money that is the interest from the endowment fund that we will give away, disperse, shouldn't say give away. And as we, oh, now it went the other way. Boy, it's not being cooperative with me. There we go. You do have to qualify, and I'll give you the website at the end that has complete information, but you do have to qualify. And some of the key things are you have to have a permanent base or office in the city of Dallas. It can't be just a post office box. And we don't award, unfortunately, to individual artists or fiscal sponsors. You do have to be already supported by the City of Dallas Office of Arts and Culture, either in the current fiscal year or the immediate past one. Organizations have to have a budget of less than $1 million, and you do have to be a 501c3, tax exempt, specifically a public charity in the IRS. In the first 4 years combined, I'm happy to say that 73 Dallas organizations have received 186 unique grants for a total disbursement of $1,080,000. So I'm very happy with that. And throughout here, you'll see some photos of organizations that we've granted. The good news in 2022 is the maximum grant has gone up to $12,000. So that's a raise of $2,000 from the previous 2 years. And in the first 2 years, it was $7,500. So we've really gone from $75,000 to $12,000 this year. You can make only one request per year, and future year applicants will not be eligible to file in the fund unless the previous year was reported correctly. So keep that in mind. Reports are important for all the granting organizations. These are meant to be flexible. Sometimes these are able to fund programs or ideas that other entities can't fund, like government or other foundations. So it really is to be very, very flexible. You can premiere new work. We'd love to see you give voice to historically marginalized communities, engage the untapped audiences in parts of Dallas that are overlooked. And we do support projects that try to move the needle in our diverse cultural community. It is important to make your case on the application. All right, categories have to fit into one of these 5 areas: new works, commissions, unique presentations, general program and operating costs, which is usually our largest category, community-focused performances, artist and residency programs. You can do capacity building, like planning for the future, and cultural equity, new initiatives. Some of that can even be a non-performance issue. During COVID, we did have to face some realities last year and this year, and there's been sort of an expansion of things that you might consider. For instance, virtual program, we will fund that. Programs presented in unusual spaces because the normal space you would perform in is not available to you, or you can't put enough people in there to make it economically viable. Programs that reach isolated audiences, so those with limited internet access, and new works and projects that might only get to the workshop level, knowing that sometime in the future you might want to do a full staging of it. So this is just fine. You will need to show some realistic strategies for how you're going to reach people and measure the underserved communities. Some photos from previous grants: Dallas Buck Society, Salmon DJam. Potential projects, commissions, original works, artistic collaborations are encouraged. Support for new works, innovative programs. You can offset rent at Moody Performance Hall, but other places as well. Programs, projects, and exhibitions that address important issues of cultural equity and community access to the arts. Programs that deliver cultural experiences to all parts of Dallas, and you can even use it for operating staff, marketing support, new initiatives, that kind of thing. You can host artists in residency programs, production costs, other projects that are important to the vibrancy of Dallas. You can do capacity building, as I said, and programs or projects taking on the whole city. Here is Jeff Rain. Thank you for the photos. Uptown Players When Pigs Fly. Too much fun. These are projects not eligible, so we don't do travel funds or direct support for individuals to take a trip. Religious or faith-based organizations, if they're promoting a specific religion or faith, athletic teams to fraternal organizations, veteran socials, alumni, labor unions, no political campaigns or lobbying groups. This next one's important. We don't sponsor fundraising events, and I get this question a lot, so we can't sponsor fundraising events. And activities of organizations primarily serving their own membership. Once the applications are in, we sometimes get between 50 and 60, they go through 2 official levels of review, really 3, because I do an internal review first. And then it goes to the Moody Fund for the Arts Advisory Review Panel. That's 5 members of the Dallas arts community. 1 is a member of the commission, the Arts and Culture Advisory Commission, and 4 others are artists, and we try to get people that are representative of different genres and have different views in the community. Then those recommendations go to the executive committee. Those are 3 people: the director of the City of Dallas Office of Arts and Culture, Jennifer Scripps, she's with us today, a representative chosen by the AT&T Performing Arts Center board chair, and a cultural advocate that's jointly agreed upon between the OAC and the center. Here's where we are in the process. I already crossed out the community meeting, but we are taking submissions. We began on Monday at noon, and I would tell you that at 12:06, I had the first application in the pipeline. At 12:24, we had the second one, and as of a few minutes ago, we had 8 of them in the pipeline. So people are moving on this quickly. After this, we will close on March 11th at noon. That's a Friday, so you'll have 3 weeks. It'll go to the advisor. After I do the internal review, it'll go to the advisory review panel in early April, probably, the executive committee to do a final determination. And then the grants are the grant awards are announced as quickly as possible, usually very quickly after the executive committee. I will tell you that where historically we've gotten kind of tripped up a little bit and slowed down is in the final step, because the checks are basically cut all at one time. So what has to happen is all the contracts will go out to you. It's all electronically, it's all online. You have to sign it, and new organizations have to turn in new vendor forms. That is what slows us down. So one organization can actually slow down everybody. We would love to get these out as quickly as possible. Here we granted the Dallas Metroplex Musicians Association some funds last year. So Rep Do No Harm made a film out of a play, and now the play is going up at the AT&T Performing Arts Center next month. The Cedars Union, Band and Coro in the park, Laughter League, it's all over the place. Theater 3 using their Theater 2 to help other companies, and Teatro Dallas expanding their rehearsal space. Submissions are accepted only through this website, moodyartsfund.org. It'll take you to the apply section. So, and I can put this in the chat. This is a direct email address that I answer, but it all has to do with all of the any questions you might have about the program, and a direct line to me, which is forwarded to my cell phone, so you'll get me. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to entertain them. Excellent.
Does anyone have a question for Hector?
I know I went very quickly, but I think many of you are really familiar with this, so I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it. Questions? Okay, I'm putting this in the website in the chat.
Well, Hector, thank you so
Joanna.
much. That was very helpful. So next, I would like to, first of all, introduce a new person over at OAC. Gabriel Gonzalez has joined as Director of Marketing for the Office of Cultural Affairs. And he came to them from Animal Services, where he's had a major impact on their ability to get the word out about wonderful animals for adoption. And we're just really excited to have him over at OAC. And he's going to give us an update on Culture Pass before we go on to the Dallas Arts Month update. So Gabriel, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. And yeah, we're super excited that we're relaunching our this program, especially since it started, like COVID happened. But now that everything is up and running, we want to start our Culture Pass program. So the Culture Pass program, it's, like anybody who owns a library card, they have free access or access to, events, participating organizations. So please, if you want to participate for this Culture Pass program, I'll put my email so you can send me just an email to see if you want to participate. And this is an awesome, an awesome opportunity especially for Dallas residents, that they're able to, like see the whole arts that we offer throughout the Dallas community. So we're super excited to relaunch it.
Does anyone have a question for Gabriel about the Culture Pass program? I don't see any. Gabriel, if anyone does have more questions, they can reach out to you at the Office of Arts and Culture, correct?
Yes, I'll put my email. So if anybody's interested, please send an email.
Okay.
Actually,
great.
Joanna, I do have a quick question, Gabriel.
Oh, sure.
If we reactivated it, our Culture Pass program last fall, when it kind of first restarted, we're good with what you're doing this year, right?
Yes.
Or do we need to reactivate again?
No, there's if you were registered, you should be into the system. If not, send me an email and I can just check that for you. So if you're not activated, we can activate back your organization and your profile as well.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Welcome.
Does anybody else have a question for Gabriel?
And thank you everybody for participating in Culture Pass. We really appreciate it. So.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Gabriel, and welcome to the arts community.
Thank you.
So our next thing on the agenda is the Dallas Arts Month planning. And Benjamin, I don't know if you wanted to talk about that or if you wanted me to just update on everybody on where we're at.
You can feel free, Joanna, if that's okay.
Okay.
I'll let you.
All right. I don't have an updated calendar to share, but we should have something in the next week or so. But it is coming along. We do have a lot of the signature events are already planned. We have the creative conversation that will be at the Moody Performance Hall. I believe that's the first Monday in April. And then, of course, Arts Advocacy Day on the 26th of April. The block party in the Dallas Arts District. Lily, you want to quickly tell everybody a little bit about that?
Sure. Very quickly, our block party is actually at the end of Dallas Arts Month. It is scheduled for Friday, April the 29th. We are actually doing a block party, coming back to our old format. We're going to do this one in April a little shorter. So we'll go from 6:30 until 10:30. But we are featuring a collaboration. We're going to feature a lot of Dallas artists, but also a collaboration between the Brooklyn Jumbies, who is an Afro-Caribbean stilts dancers, with Band Coro. Just spoke to the artistic director of that company this morning. It is going to be really wonderful. So I invite you all. It is free and it is on the east side of Dallas Arts District at Salmons Park. The majority of it is at Salmons Park. Joshua King and Aurora through Downtown Dallas Inc. Every Friday night, they are doing an installation in downtown, and certainly for our arts district, they will do an installation on the 29th as well. And we are actually instituting a small parade that will start at the ceremonial circle at Dallas Museum of Art at Harwood and come down Flora Street at the beginning and then end at Salmons Park to start with the kickoff and with the performances. So you'll get more on that. I also, Joanna, want to thank AT&T Performing Arts Center because they used and leveraged some of their advertising with Dallas Morning News. And we are going to be getting featured ads during Dallas Arts Month. So I'm thrilled about that. The filters are coming in through Dallas Arts Month and will go to Dallas Arts Month's page. So please make sure that you put in to Art and Seek, and you'll have some choices because Downtown Dallas Inc. is a filter. Our Deep Ellum Art Foundation is a filter. Our newest cultural district, Fair Park First, that is a filter. And of course, Dallas Arts District is a filter. And then everything goes into Dallas Arts Month website for all of our events.
Great. Thank you, Lily. And then the kickoff is, there's a press conference on March 30th at 9:30 a.m. That's at the Majestic. And then things like the Dallas Art Fair is happening during Arts Month, USA Film Festival. There's just quite a lot. DJam will happen with the free open house jazz concert on the 16th, which is a Saturday in the lobby of the Moody. So there's a lot of events that are going on, but as Lily said, please make sure you have your events in April listed at Art and Seek so that your events get included in all of the Arts Month promotions. And Gabriel will be updating the Dallas Arts Month website and putting more content in there. Hopefully we'll have a normal Arts Month again, which would be just absolutely wonderful. So does anyone have any questions for any of us or where we are with Dallas Arts Month at this stage? Not seeing any, so all right. So the last thing I wanted to tell everybody about is the Dallas Arts Advocacy Day event, which will be Tuesday the 26th at the Latino Cultural Center. Doors will open, I believe, at 11. And it goes until 1:30, lunch, of course, included. And our keynote speakers, we will have two. They are Kelly Lindquist and Wendy Holmes from Art Space Projects in Minneapolis. And they're going to be coming down and telling us about their affordable live workspace housing projects for artists that they've done all over the country, including Houston and El Paso and Galveston, but not Dallas so far. And these are amazing projects that provide affordable space for artists where they can live and work together with other artists. And they have an incredible economic impact, great community impact. So they're going to talk about all those things, how those projects are conceived, how they work, how they benefit the community. And then I'm very pleased to announce that the Jack Alder Advocacy Award this year will go to John Paul Batiste. And he is so deserving, and we are so thrilled to be able to present him with this award. I know you all know and love John Paul as our chairman of our Cultural Affairs Commission for many, many years, but also, he served as the director of the Texas Commission on the Arts for many years, and he actually was the head of the Office of Cultural Affairs for the city of Dallas for some years before that. So he has a long history of working with the arts and artists and arts community, supporting artists. And so we're just really thrilled to be able to recognize him. We have chosen someone to give the artist statement, but have not yet had that confirmed. So we can't really announce that yet, but very excited about that as well. And of course, that is our chance to bring the city council members, the mayor possibly, the city manager possibly, to our event so that we can engage with them and have some face-to-face time with them. So I just wanted to give you an update on that. And it'll be $35 as it is every year and open to everybody. And just really hope to see all of you there. And if anyone has any questions about it, let me know. Okay, I'm not seeing any. So that is all we have, unless anyone else has an announcement. Yes, Lily.
Several of you may have already registered through Texans for the Arts, and I will put the registration link on the chat today, but I wanted to announce that the Region 4, which is our region, North Texas, I'll be hosting a conversation about best practices and solutions over this past year. We would love your input and we'd love for you to join. There's already 30 registered for this particular North Texas conversation. So if you're interested, it's March the 2nd. I can't even remember what time it is, but I'm going to send you the link and you have to register in order to get the Zoom link.
Lily, if you send that to me, I'll send it out with all of the information from this meeting to everyone who's attending.
That sounds great. And I'll forward that to you right now, Joanna.
Okay, thank you, Lily. Does anyone else have an announcement? Okay, well, we finished in record time. So I want to thank all of you for being here with us today. Diana, I want to thank you for sharing all the great information about the Creative Arts Center. I hope everybody stays warm and safe tonight. I know tomorrow we're not quite sure how that's going to go, but anyway, we're hoping this is our last freeze storm for this year. So take care, everybody, and hope to see you soon.
Thanks, Joanna. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.